Hi, I'm David Reed, the Stargate specialist for Propworx, and welcome to our Stargate warehouse here in Southern California. 8,000 square foot facility filled wall to wall with goodies from Stargate SG-1 and Stargate Atlantis. Come with me now for the next few minutes. I'm going to give you an exclusive tour behind the scenes. Right now, our weekly eBay auctions are in full swing. We post about 100 items a week, ranging from big objects like Gould braziers and Tok'ra chairs to smaller pieces like Woolsey's law books. A wide variety of stuff. We have a number of costumes and set deck pieces and artwork. This little doozy is this little guy is from an episode of SG-1 called Stronghold. It seems like there's never a limit of the stuff that we have here, and it's just a matter of trying to go through it and figuring out what's going to sell good this week. This is actually a piece of the Asgard core that was introduced in the last episode of Stargate SG-1, Unending. We have a number of these little guys, and we try to put one up every few weeks. It is unbelievable the amount of talent that comes out of Vancouver. Bridge Studios is where the show is filmed. You know, you see stuff and you think, where have I seen that before? Well, sure, we see it on television. This was introduced in season 3 of SG-1. It's a Gould cargo ship light. But that's not actually what it is. This is a water filtration device. Set decorator Mark Davison cannibalized the thing, cleaned out the guts on the inside, installed light bulbs, and suspended it on the wall midway between floor and ceiling of the Gould cargo ship. With all these little holes, it makes a beautiful light fixture. This guy right here is called the BFG, which I believe stands for Big Frickin' Gun, or something like that. Introduced in the SG-1 Season 10 episode Bounty. You turn it on here, and it comes with its own portable remote. Activate the device just like that. You can change the speed of the oscillation on the Naquita generator. You can even make it short circuit. It's just one of my favorite pieces. Since SG-1 and Atlantis were based on military teams, you can imagine weapons are very important to the franchise. I have here a Zat Nicotel, which was introduced at the end of SG-1 Season 1. It's a 3-setting weapon. The first shot stuns, the second kills, the third disintegrates. This caused a lot of problems over the course of the series with getting rid of evidence and things like that, but is really one of the neater pieces that we have. We also have the famous Jaffa staff weapon. This is the staff that Teal'c carried throughout the series. This is a stunt one. It's much lighter, and this one does not open or close, but very iconic piece. We expect these to go for a lot of money. Later on in the show, when they introduced the Ori had their own staff weapons. It was a different type of energy, but still staff and design, and they shot it like that. On Atlantis, with the Wraith weren't interested in killing anyone. They were just interested in stunning them because they later had to go and eat them. This is the Wraith Stunner Rifle, introduced in the pilot episode Rising. They wore it like this and they fired it like this. This was a kind of a cumbersome object, so they ultimately replaced it with a stunner pistol, which was much smaller and compact. Perhaps one of my favorite all-time pieces out of the entire warehouse, the ancient drone weapon, introduced in Season 7's Lost City of SG-1. This is the centerpiece for the entire ancient arsenal. These bad boys can blow up objects and still keep on flying. They're controlled by the mind from an ancient control chair, and they light up. This actually lights up here and zooms after a target until it's gone. Has tentacles here. Electronics on the inside here, 9-volt batteries actually plug in here. And this is made out of several different parts, obviously vacuum formed plastic, just a beautiful piece. This is easily my favorite piece out of the entire warehouse. If I could take anything home, it would be this little guy right here, a 0-point module or ZPM, introduced in Season 7's Lost City, Stargate SG-1. This is the center of all power technology for Atlantis, for ancients that went back about 10,000 years ago during the golden age of their civilization. This is what they use. It's essentially a glorified battery. This thing, when detonated, could destroy an entire solar system. The mandate of the entire Atlantis expedition was basically to try and find these things, because when you found one, it meant that the city's shields could be powered or the star drive could be activated. Just an exquisite piece. I love this thing. Not everything in the warehouse is grand in size. Some of the smaller stuff is pretty awesome too. For instance, these replicator blocks. These are the foundation of a nemesis that was introduced in the episode Nemesis from season 3 of SG-1. These guys were mechanized little spiders that crawled around Asgard ships. Eventually we had to, well, take them out in season 8 of SG-1, but they were a scourge for a while. In addition, another type of scourge introduced in the Scourge from season 9 of SG-1. This is an R75 bug named by SG-1's science team. These little buggers were found on planets where Ori priors had visited. Since SG-1 and Atlantis are set in the here and now, you'll find a lot of objects that are common to our real world. For instance, C4 explosives, a plastic explosive device, was common on Stargate. We also have a lot of items from the characters' personal collections. These are pictures from Jack O'Neill's first family before the Stargate mission. His son Charlie shot himself with his dad's handgun. That was, of course, pivotal in the Stargate feature film. And Dr. Daniel Jackson's glasses. Daniel wore these glasses for the first several seasons of the show. We have a few sets of these and are very proud to be collecting them. Shepard's wristband. A simple Nike wristband you'd think would go for $100 perhaps. The first time that we sold one of these things went for easily over $1,300, I think it was. Joe Flanagan wore these throughout pretty much the entire course of Stargate Atlantis. He always had one on, and at conventions people would ask him, what's the story behind the wristbands? And he said, I'm not telling. So we've got them and now we're selling them. Crystals are one of the most important aspects of the series. They are data storage devices and also power devices, depending on the type. These are ancient crystals. They're used to store gigabytes and gigabytes of information. This is a puddle jumper control crystal. This is also a puddle jumper control crystal here for the Starcraft from Atlantis. This is a DHD control crystal. Little microcircuitry on it. It's just a little sticker on here, but when you put it on screen, it just comes to life. And these are from SG-1. This is also the SG-1 version of a DHD control crystal. SG-1 takes place in the Milky Way galaxy, so the technology is not as updated as it is in the Pegasus galaxy, where the ancients later went. So this is a DHD crystal from the Milky Way galaxy and a DHD crystal from the Pegasus galaxy. You can kind of see where the evolution took place. And this is also another type of control crystal. This is the kind that we humans created to adapt to the Gould designs of the control crystals when we started flying around in our own spaceships. We had to reverse engineer a lot of this technology, so we went ahead and reverse engineered our own crystals. Swords. We have a number of different swords from throughout Stargate history. Perhaps the most important, certainly my favorite, is Excalibur. In season 9 and 10 of SG-1, they decided to explore Arthurian mythology. And Arthurian mythology couldn't be complete without the Sword and the Stone. From season 9's Avalon Part 2, Mitchell pulled this out of a stone in the Avalon Caves under Glastonbury. We came back from the Avalon Caves and we made a new foe. This is an Ori sword. The Ori warriors that followed their masters, the Priors. They carried these around. It smells really oily. And a fan favorite character on Stargate Atlantis was Tyre. He was introduced in season 4, the episode Reunion. This is his sword from the season 5 episode Broken Ties.